Hey guys, it's your buddy Rome. Today we're going to take a closer look at the 3D Longer Nano Pro, the 12-watt laser. So in today's video, what I'm going to show you guys is how to set it up, how to connect it to in my case, it's going to be a Mac, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same for a PC. You'll be able to connect it to that and use it with Lightburn. You'll be able to use either Goebbels, or you'll be able to use their software to run this machine. So I have it over here on one of my desks. We're going to go over there, take a look at it, look at making sure we got all of our cables connected the way they're supposed to be connected, and we will run a material test and possibly do a small project with this little laser. You guys ready? You're ready? Let's go. All right, guys, let's get right to it. Now, if you watched the previous video, you noticed that I did connect the cables to the back of this unit, and you guys can see those here. There is a green indicator right here as well, and that's going to be for this shroud with the fan. If you're going to be using that just plugs in right here. Now you do need to connect this into the motor for the lift, so let's go through these again so you guys know exactly what you're connecting. And as I said, these are color coded, so I'm going to pop these off real quick here and I'll show you. So this cable right here, which is the blue one that we have, that's going to plug into the USB down here at the base, and it will plug in here, and that's going to allow you to have your lift where these two little buttons here will raise and lower the head. And the next one is our yellow. This is going to be for any of your accessories that you have connected to it, so we can plug that in here. That will work for the Rotary, that'll work for the slide extension, that's also a USB-C. And then the final one is a USB-A to USB-C, which is this orange one here. This is the one you're going to use to connect it to your computer, provided that you're going to be using this instead of the smart app. Okay, now to connect the power, you have this little power brick you guys can see here, and this will work with your 100 to 240 volt connections, single two-prong. That's just going to plug in right here, little barrel plug, and now you're pretty much good to go. Now in your box you will see this little 3D printed piece right here. This is cable management, and what this is going to allow you to do is to kind of manage these cables and pull them off to the side, and this will clip on like so, and then you'll be able to just kind of route these cables out of the way if you want to, so you don't have to have them all in the back of the machine. And each one of the cables just kind of slots in like that. Gonna have to put a little pressure to it, but you get the idea. So you can slot the cables in and get a little bit better cable management, so that's going to clear up the back of the unit. Okay, now I won't be using this today, so I will be wearing the glasses that are included, but for most of you, I do recommend starting out, if you're a beginner, use this shroud because you do have the fan built in here as well, and that's going to allow you to vent some of the fumes. And you also want to utilize either a very open ventilated area or some type of fume extraction system like what I have here in the studio. Okay, so we're going to push that off to the side. Now today we're going to be powering this guy off of one of my batteries. This battery right here is a 300 watt battery. This came out of my hands-free one, which is a Blue Yeti backpack that also has a battery. This guy here has AC and DC power, so we're going to be using the back of it. We're going to just flip this guy around. So we have a plug back here. As you guys can see, we have an AC plug right here, and you can also charge this battery off of AC as well. So to power it, we're just going to plug this guy in just like that, and it's going to be pretty much good to go. All right, so you guys see we have a little indicator light on right there. Our lights have lit up on our buttons over here as well. All right, so let's rotate this guy back around. We are going to do a little bit of cable management. I may even move the battery to the opposite side just so we get a little bit more clearance. So this is kind of how everything is set up for now. Yeah, let's do that. Let's move the battery over to the other side. There we go. So now that's going to give us just a little bit more flexibility when it comes to working with this device, because we will also have to connect a computer to this in order to run it. But I did want to connect it to a battery so that I could show you guys that if you wanted to go out to do some engraving on location, you can use one of these 300-watt batteries. It's not going to be a problem whatsoever. Now, we're going to be doing a material test. So you have a couple of options here. Your unit should come with this little cutting bed. You also, for those who don't know, this middle plate here is removable. You just have to remove these little pieces right here and just kind of push those out of the way. Like so. And then if you wanted to, if you had something that you wanted to be able to set this on top of, you could just remove this plate out and you'd be able to engrave straight through the laser bed. As you guys see here, you could just sit this on top of something and engrave directly onto it, which is a really nice feature. Now, a number of the lasers have the same feature as well, but it's really nice that it is also included in this model. All right, well, obviously we're going to be using this because we're going to be placing some wood on here and we're going to be doing a material test. Now, I did mention that we're going to be connecting this to Lightburn, but let's go over all of the other things that come with it that'll be beneficial to you. Now, as far as focusing, you have this ruler that you see here, and you can use that to measure the distance, which is about 151 millimeters. You also have a focusing laser that you can activate with the button here on the top. And the two dots that it produces, you just want to bring those two dots together so that you know that the laser's in focus. If you want to verify that, you can just use your ruler to verify that it is at the distance that you need it. A lot of times have things like these little lazy Susans for these small lasers if I need to get to the back of it for some reason, because these buttons are not tactile, so you can't feel them, but you can just reach back and you can feel for the most part. So right now we can raise this guy up, we can lower it, by just pressing those buttons to get them, to the focus point that you want the laser to be at, which is, really convenient. Now, this laser did come with a bubble level, and this is the one that actually came in the box. This is a different bubble level that I had. I actually 3D printed these little feet here for the similar type of bubble level, and that's great if you're going to be doing things like coasters. I'm sorry, if you're going to be doing things like water bottles or anything that's round using your rotary. This just makes it easier to set this on it and get your level, making sure that your surfaces is going to be perfect for whatever you're going to be engraving. But either way, you can still do basically the same thing, even if you don't have that. If you guys want the file for this and you have a 3D printer, I will leave the link for this file down in the description so that you'll be able to find it. All right, so what else do we have? If you have a different laser from 3D Longer, they do provide you with the cable so that you can use the Rotary with those lasers as well. So these cables do come in the bundle if you might need those. All right, keep track of these little screws because I lose these things all the time. So find yourself one of those little magnetic ashtrays or something that you can have on your workbench where you just throw these screws inside of it in case you take them out for somewhere, for some reason, because these things will roll off and we all know they do. All right, so let's get started. Let's go ahead and get our computer connected to this guy and get everything set up. All right, guys, so first things first, let's go ahead and open Lightburn and get everything set up. So if we go here, now you guys notice that you did receive a thumb drive that came with in that thumb drive, you will find the files that you will need for all of the different softwares, everything that you're going to need to get everything set up. So you would go here in Lightroom under Devices, you're going to click on Devices, and you're going to be looking for go to Import, and you're going to go to wherever you have that SD card saved or connected to your computer, and you're going to look for a specific file. Let's see if I can access it here. Let's go here, Software, And this is the file that we're looking for right here with Laser Nano. And you're going to just click on that and then click open. I've already opened it, so I'm just going to go here and select it and then click OK. Now, once it has connected, you guys are going to see that you have these different tabs here. You can go to, for instance, your console. And the console is going to give you some macros. You have your carving, you have your rotary, you have your slide extension, Wi-Fi reset, and connect to Wi-Fi. So since we're going to be using this today to do something like a material test, we're going to be using the carver mode, okay? And let's see here, we're not using our rotary. So let's also go in and take a look at our power settings here and see if there's anything that we need to change. As you guys can see here, it is set already. The work area is at 100 millimeters by 100 millimeters. And the origin point is the forward left side, which should be fine. We'll check that as we go. And you can zoom out just to see the area. So in our situation, what we're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to run a material test to see how well this laser will be able to engrave and cut. In the box, you should have received some basic pieces of wood that you'll be able to use for the material test. And that's all you need is that one little piece of wood. So let me grab one of those so I can show you guys. So we're just going to grab a sheet of wood like this, and we're going to just place this here on the laser bed. Now in this situation, since we're not doing a cut, we're just going to be doing engraving. We just need this to be on the bed as it is. We are going to focus it here in a second. But before that, let's go into Lightburn and set up our material test. You can go here under laser tools. You're going to select material test as I mentioned before. We have everything set up right here. And we're going to go ahead and run the framing because everything is pretty much the same. Hit our framing button. All right, so we see that it is framing on our piece of material. So at this point, we can go ahead and hit start, and it will start to run this. Now, if you want to do a preview to see how long it's going to take, in this case, if we do this as a fill, it's going to take 40 minutes to run this material test. So that might not be something that you want to do if you're not going to be running for engraving. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change this to line, and then we're going to reset. And this is going to give us a different preview here. And now this is going to take 5 minutes. And what we're going to get is little squares, which will still give us a good indication of what the power levels are for each one of these. Now, I do need to go back over and focus the laser again because I did add the cutting bed. So I'll show you guys that. So I've added the cutting bed here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the focus lasers on. And I'm going to raise or lower this as needed. All right, so that should be in focus. So let's go ahead and frame that up again just to make sure it's staying on our material. All right, everything looks good. I have my laser glasses on. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And as you guys see, it's going to start to engrave. So there's a section here where this did not completely cut out, as you guys can see here. But we can also look at the engraving here. So it looks like to get the best result for what I would want to use this for different types of, scoring and things like that, we're going to be somewhere around 70% power and a speed of 600 is going to give us a really dark mark. Now, if you want something a little less than that, you could probably go up to 2533 and a power of 70, which is also going to give us really good marking. So you guys can kind of see how that's laid out. But yeah, so we'll do a test here in a second just to do an engraving on one of these pieces of wood just to see what that would look like. So we're going to go with those settings. We're going to go with 70 as our power and 2533 as our speed for this. Let's do it. All right, so we're just going to bring in something that we'll be able to engrave. So let me grab a graphic. And we're just going to use the back of this card. All right, so we're going to shrink this way down so that this guy's going to fit. Let's go over to our layer cut and grab our little marker here, and let's drag it down and then pull it back over. And we can just kind of measure it in till we get it right about the size that we want. We don't need this to be super large because for the most part, this is just going to be for experimental purposes. So let me zoom in a little bit better so you guys can see what's going on. So that's going to be our little cat right here that we're going to engrave. So let's move this guy over. Let's center it a little bit. We're going to make it a little bit smaller. Right about there. Now the power settings that we came up with for engraving this was going to be, we're going to go with 70% power, which we have here, and we're going to go with a speed of 2533. So 2533 is our speed. Everything else can pretty much stay the same. We have Jarvis. We want bidirectional. Well, let's go ahead and turn on our continuous power. Make sure air assist is turned off. Bidirectional should be okay for this, but you really don't need that for this style laser. So you could turn that off. Line intervals is going to be 0.06. And no pass through. Everything else looks good. Let's just go ahead and click OK. Now what we can do is we can frame this up to make sure it's going to fall on our material. So we're just going to take the same piece of wood that we had here before, and we're just going to place it here on our work area. We know that the focus is good, so now we can just go ahead and frame that up. Now it looks like it's extending a little bit over, so I'm going to just make it a little bit smaller just so we don't have any issues with that. So let's just do that. Recenter this guy. Let's frame it up again. All right, so I'm going to adjust this a little bit, and I think there might be a slight misalignment of the laser. I'll have to check that here in a second. But we're going to go ahead and frame this up one more time. And we're going to go ahead and run this job on the wood just to see what it looks like. Let me grab my laser glasses. Let's see how long this job is supposed to take. So click here on preview, and it says it's going to take 4 minutes for it to engrave this guy. We're not going to cut it out. We're just going to engrave it and see what it looks like just from the numbers that we have. So let me grab my laser glasses. All right, guys, so here is our little cat that we just engraved. Let's take a closer look at what we got based on the settings. So as you guys can see, there's a little scorching there. I think we could have adjusted the power settings down a little bit, but it engraved really nice, very deep into this wood. So hopefully you guys can see what the end result looks like. So we did a material test on this little piece of wood, as well as we ran this little first engraving with this laser. I could say with adjustment of power output, aligning the laser to make sure that it is in alignment with what you are creating. This is going to be an excellent starter laser for a lot of people out there. It comes with a bunch of accessories. You have the rotary chuck. You also have the slide extension, which is definitely going to make this an excellent laser for a lot of DIY projects. All right, guys, it's been Rome with Rome Knows Tech, and I will catch you all in the next video. If you guys are interested in seeing additional videos for this laser using the rotary chuck and the slide extension, those videos are in the works and will be coming out pretty soon. I will catch you all in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace. I'm out.